Hi, this is Ninja Knight. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell up above for future uploads, and check out the links posted in the description down below to support the channel. Thank you. So here is DCEU leaks, and apparently the main plot elements from the movie The Flash that is set to release in 2023, as it was pushed from 2022, is that to give them more time to sort out the Ezra Miller situation, in which he's been arrested and he's been doing some very shady stuff. So we'll have to wait and see whether they're going to continue with him as the Flash, or if they're going to indeed fire him. This is the same company, by the way, that fired Captain Jack Sparrow over accusations, yet the woman who's playing Mira in Aquaman is still hired and still playing the character, and this guy is still playing the character of the Flash, even though all of the things that he's been up to. I will say this, I think this is a moment in time, perhaps maybe if Zack Snyder does come back and does more movies, that he has a chance now to recast the Flash. And I do think that this was a studio hire. I think Ezra Miller was a studio hire. I don't think he was a Zack Snyder choice personally. I personally think that Zack Snyder's choice for the Flash for Barry Allen was Ryan Gosling, especially when you have a look at some of that concept art. I think that he was supposed to be the man. Anyway, I digress. We'll move on into this video here, and like all plot elements and leaks, take this with a huge grain of salt. However, there is one particular plot element that, if it does come true, should make DC fans furious, and we'll get to it now in a few moments. There's 100% a tease for Reverse Flash. When Barry's mom is killed, a yellow figure smiles at Barry and lunges at him. Barry escapes before the yellow figure can get to him. No actor or voice, so likely a stuntman. It's pretty hard to make the figure out because he's just standing in the dark and you can only see his yellow arm and his red eyes. So very much like the CW show. The emotional parts are good. Ezra has amazing chemistry with the woman who plays Barry's mom, and I heard people start crying when Barry realised he couldn't save her. It's 1,000 times better than the one in the CW. Not like that is difficult, because the CW did have a lot of problems after season 2. Black Flash is not really the villain of the film. It is Future Flash wearing a Black Flash suit. I always say this, if you haven't seen the villain, or there hasn't been a big deal made out of who has been cast as the villain, you're pretty much going to see whoever you're seeing at the moment is going to be doing double jobbing, and it seems like Ezra Miller is indeed going to be the villain. I would say it's very similar to the Spider-Man Far From Home, when we seen Mysterio and people were like, oh, the Elementals are the villains, and I was like, is there anybody cast as the Elementals? No? Okay. So that means then Mysterio is definitely the bad guy, because he's going to get face time and he's a recognisable actor. So that's exactly what's going to happen here as well too. I would say they haven't made a big deal out of anyone being cast as a villain, or they haven't been shouting it from the rooftops. They kind of merged the two characters, essentially Future Flash just wearing Black Flash's suit. There are 3 Barrys in the film, and the Barry we see in the trailer's long hair gets brutally killed by evil Barry, Future Flash, who is also him from the future. The film's Future Flash is an amalgam of the comics version of Future Flash and the Black Flash. So great to see that we're doing season 3, I think it was, of CW Flash, where they had Savitar, which was an evil Barry from the future that was all scarred up, that came back to do naughty things. Seems like Christina Hodson, who's writing this movie, just had a look at the CW show and cobbled this together. But what do you expect when you get a writer that is just failing forward into projects even though they bomb? The Future Flash is actually just the second Barry, long hair but from the future. His motivation is that when DCEU Barry came to his universe, he ruined everything and destroyed his world. He'd gotten obsessed into saving his world and keeps trying to reverse time from it getting destroyed, but it fails. So he decided to go after the person who caused this, our Barry. It's going to be super difficult, by the way, when they do get the Reverse Flash, to be like, well, here's another speedster that has a vendetta against him, and this speedster is also from the future. You're going to be confusing the life out of normies. I mean that. This is going to be bad. Future Flash spent 10 years trying to reverse time and figure out a safe way to stop Zod from destroying his world. This is where it starts to get ropey, guys. So we'll start moving on and see what else is going on. Barry was about to go back in time, but someone Future Barry tried to kill him and accidentally knocked him out of the Speed Force into an alternate universe, Keaton's world. I'll say this, Zack Snyder's Flash was made and created and portrayed the way it was to be extremely powerful and to have rules of his own so that he didn't break them. So to make that scene, particularly at the end of Justice League, that more important, that he doesn't normally do that and he is super powered. So when you do decide to do a movie like this, it kind of makes it very trivial at this point, and it just shows again how Zack Snyder outlined a 5-movie arc, and now that they've decided to do spin-offs, it looks and sounds weird when you do things like this. I don't know what they're going to do with relation to this movie. It sounds very bad, and we've only gotten nearly halfway into this. Sasha Calle's Supergirl is one of the best parts of the movie, with some kind of best performance in the movie. Yikes. Imagine that's the best performance in the movie. I don't know about that. But then again, we are talking about people that are going to see this movie that are into Ezra Miller, even though he's part of the Rainbow group, and now are into a Latina Supergirl, even though Supergirl, as you know, is traditionally portrayed as a white, blonde, blue-eyed woman. You know yourself. Barry 1, our Barry, got stuck in Keaton's world and finds Barry 2, who also has flash powers, and they both get Keaton, Batman and Supergirl to fight a threat, Zod ? They lose, and Barry 1 and 2 try to reverse time to save the universe, but it fails. Barry 1 gives up, but Barry 2 doesn't. That's when future Barry 2 appears, revealing he tried to repeat time multiple times, but it failed. So instead of repeating time to stop this incident, he enters the Speed Force to try and kill the person who caused this in the first place, Barry 1. It's so convoluted, and it doesn't even need to be like this. The way Ezra's Barry is portrayed in the film has him act more like Wally-Bart hybrid than he does Barry in some scenes. And I feel that was definitely the studio meddling here 100%, because if you remember back to Joss Whedon's Justice League, Barry Allen, when I seen that movie the first time, you could tell the reshoots, because I was like, that's not Barry Allen, that's Wally West there. The way he's running around, he's making quips, he's joking, he's big smile on his face. So I was like, that's Wally West 100%. And it's very clear that they want Wally West in the movie, so why not cast Cameron Monaghan, who looks perfect? He would be a perfect Wally West, and put him in the movie and just sort that out instead of using this guy and just dodging Wally West. It's weird, very weird. But of course, they will want to go down the route of getting a race swapped Wally, so they did it in the TV show. They look to do it here too. Apart from some scenes, Ezra acts a bit like comic Barry. Again, where I come back to, I think that this was a studio hire in Ezra Miller, and I think that Snyder was probably looking at the likes of Ryan Gosling for the role. Like I said, it's a super powered Barry at that point in time, and even though he's trying to keep himself underground a little bit, he can still do an awful lot, and I think it's very much shown within this movie. They don't know what to be doing with him. He gets the heart and essence of the character right, and only acts like Wally Bart hybrid in some scenes, mostly the humour parts, like freaking out like a fangirl when he sees the Batmobile. So, does that sound familiar? That's also what happened in the Joss Whedon Justice League. Trust me when I say this, you're going to love Ezra as Barry more than you did in both Justice League movies. He was way better in the Snyder cut. I will say that. I actually enjoyed him way more in the Snyder cut. I couldn't stand him in the Joss Whedon one, because I was like, that's not Barry Allen. That's not him at all. Zod successfully kills Keaton's Batman and Supergirl. Supergirl gets her neck snapped. It's actually pretty brutal. Worse than that, when Superman snaps Zod's. Now, this is what really irks me, and it will upset an awful lot of DC fans if this is indeed true. Zod kills Cavill's Superman as a baby. Now, this was a leak that's gotten out now over the last couple of weeks, and it's seeming to gather real credibility. Also, factor in that Cavill has just started to film The Witcher Season 3, and he's not really talking about Superman whatsoever. I don't know what the problem is with this company, with this man. This man is a perfect Superman. This guy behaves properly, and he is the best promotion that you could ever have for a character. He looks, he sounds, and he is Superman to an awful lot of people like the likes of me. Yet this company is the same company hanging on to Ezra Miller, even though he's been up to what he's been up to, and Amber, that's playing Mira in Aquaman and Aquaman 2. The same company that just cannot stand Henry Cavill as Superman, because they are looking to destroy masculinity. They are looking to destroy everything that that character stands for. And if this is true, this is going to be something that is going to irreparably damage people's opinion of DC Comics, of Warner Brothers and indeed this universe. There's a lot of people's reputations hanging on this movie. Andy Muschietti has a very good reputation, particularly what he did with It. But then Christina Hodson, who has a very bad reputation that doesn't get highlighted enough, is writing this movie. This is disgusting. And this is another agenda-driven move from these people, because if you're attacking Superman as a baby, these people won't even do this with villainous characters, but they're going to do it to the most heroic character of all time. It is sick. These people are depraved, and these people need to have these licenses taken away from them immediately. Now, when you're looking at this movie, the best way to deal with something like this, if this is indeed true, is to not go and see it, to not buy the merchandise, and not watch anything got to do with it. To totally ignore it. Because if this is true, this is disgusting. Completely and utterly disgusting. And that's the point in time where I looked at this and just was, nah, I'm out. If that happens, or if there's even a sniff of that happening, I'm telling you now, the videos that are going to come out with regards to that from other people and bigger YouTubers and all that are going to be insane. Because people are rightfully going to be angry about that. And that's why you've got likes of Young Ripper, Eric D. July, Ethan Van Sciver over there telling people to create their own independent content so it can't be messed with like this. It's shocking. Now also, let's not forget as well too that, again, this is another attack on Zack Snyder and Zack Snyder's Superman, because Zack Snyder, and what I think it all comes down to, why they're attacking Superman so much, is because Zack Snyder decided to depict Superman as a Christ-like figure, particularly in Man of Steel, and then again in BVS, and again then in Justice League. Those three movies have him very, very close to a Christ-like figure, and I think that that's exactly what they're doing and how they're doing it. Michael Shannon reprises his role as Zod. Cage is also, this is talking about Nicolas Cage, is also not Superman in Keaton's world. It's Cavill, before he got killed as a baby by Zod. This is despicable. It really is despicable if that's true. Future Flash and Flash have a massive race because Future Flash wants to kill him. Barry doesn't want to die. Like most of us. When they do that, they travel into the multiverse. We see a lot of different universes. Pattinson's Batman universe, Linda Carter Wonder Woman, Adam West Batman, Grant Gustin Flash, etc. Superman's existence is left somewhat ambiguous. Zod and Fiora are alive in the new timeline since Superman never killed them. Madness. That's absolute madness. Why would you be bringing those two characters back? Look, I like Michael Shannon, I like them as Zod and all like that, but I mean, he served his purpose within that one movie, and it's like, yeah, okay, fantastic, and they brought him back as Doomsday, and that made sense to me. But now they're bringing him and Fiora back. It's not like they have a huge following. I mean, where is the following for Zod and Fiora? I don't think it's out there. Any film and TV show, including Peacemaker, released between Man of Steel and Shazam 2, are set in the old timeline. Shazam 2 is set in the old timeline. Everything after The Flash is set in the new timeline. Green Lantern, Zatanna, Batgirl, etc. So it's easy to know which ones that you're going to avoid. Don't forget, by the way, guys, that J.J. Abrams is lurking in the background here as well too. So some of these decisions can be definitely attributed to him. Iris is only a cameo in this movie. She only appears at the end when Barry's father is released from prison. Not really corrupt, by the way. He's decided to drop out. He's like, nah, I'm going to dip from this one. I'm alright. And that says an awful lot to me. WB's plan is to use Keaton as a temporary replacement for DCEU Batman. They now say that all they know is that Pattinson will be involved in Crisis. Nothing of whether he will join the DCEU full time afterwards. So Soy Man is going to be in here now leading the place. I mean, why? You had the perfect one you had in Ben Affleck, and you're deciding to just constantly kick him and constantly say, nah, we don't think the fans want the Batman versus Deathstroke movie. Yeah, we do. We'd like to see all of his characters as well too, what he has in his mind. We wanted to see, and this is quotes from Matt Reeves, by the way, he had a James Bond-esque type of vision for Ben Affleck's Batman. Ben did. And Matt Reeves was like, I didn't really want that. No, I did. I'm all in for that. I liked what he was doing. I'm in for it. I don't want to see this soy man with race change characters and characters saying weird things like Zoe Kravitz. Don't want to do it. Anyway, person said the blonde girl who got cast in The Flash, Saoirse Monica Jackson, could be playing either a gender-bent Mirror Master, which is definitely going to happen. There's definitely going to be gender bent in this movie, particularly with the woman who's writing this, or Killer Frost, but that's them guessing because they generally don't know. Interesting, isn't it, that the blonde girl is cast as the villain? but not as Supergirl. Don't expect any wild cameos, keep expectations low. I feel like overall this film will not only be beloved by general audience but hardcore Flash fans as well. That's insanity. I mean, whoever's writing this is this on Reddit? Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. People ain't gonna be happy with this one. Guarantee you, fans won't be. The Flash feels more like a classic fiction adventure in the vein of stories like Alice in Wonderland and The Wizard of Oz than a typical superhero movie. Yeah, that's totally what I want to go and see when I go and see a movie. Yeah, I like to see Alice in Wonderland and Wizard of Oz. They're way more feminine movies in my view than they are masculine ones. Batfleck doesn't die but isn't part of the new timeline. No reference to Wally whatsoever from what I heard. Listen, Cameron Monaghan looks like Wally West. He is red haired. He'd be perfect. Get him and just end all of this nonsense and have him in Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3. That's all you need to do. Pretty brief reverse Flash cameo. Only hardcore DC fans will notice him. Mainstream audience is going to be confused. We'll see. Mid-post credit scene, order subject to change. Mid-credits, Flash will tell Aquaman that he wonders if a Superman exists here too. Aquaman looks at him confused. It then proceeds to show Supergirl smiling at Barry, and he smiles back, and it shows him looking over what's next to her. His face is full of shock, and the movie ends. Maybe a Cavill nod, but I don't know. It's more likely to be a black Superman starring Michael B. Jordan. That's the rumour at the moment, and that's something that J.J. Abrams wants to do. He's after bringing a guy there, what's your man's name? Cates or something? No, Coates I think it is. A guy that has a very bad track record as well too by making certain comments against white people. And he wants him to write a Superman movie, and they've openly told people that they want a black Superman now. So don't be surprised if that's what people get. And this is just havoc. This is just a disaster in the making here. Post credits, Affleck, crisis tears, come find us, Barry. That's going to be interesting then. So they're leaving the door some more openly here for the Snyder Cut. And again, like I said, the simple thing to do is to just go, okay, just give Zack what he wanted originally, which was the 5 movies, which means there's 2 more. Get him to do what he's doing. In the meantime, maybe do a HBO Max Batman TV series with Ben Affleck against John Magniello's Deathstroke and a host of other villains in there. I'd be all for that 100%. And again, I'd be interested in merchandise and stuff like that for that. This stuff, no chance whatsoever. And again, like I said, if they do what they did say in this article to Superman, particularly as a baby, you're going to lose a lot of fans. These people don't seem to understand, or maybe they do, the popularity of Henry Cavill. People were pumped to see him in Mission Impossible. People are pumped to see him in The Witcher. And people are pumped to see him in whatever he does going forward. He's a huge draw. And a huge nerd, by the way. That's the most important thing. That's why I like Cavill an awful lot. Because he's like, oh, I'm into Warhammer and building computers and these characters. And he's setting people straight on the set of The Witcher. I love that about him. I'm like, this is brilliant. I love this guy. And they just want to kick him away at every hand's turn. Now, there is a big point to this one, which is Dwayne Johnson has entered this universe and he does want to face off against Superman. His agent is the same agent as Henry Cavill. So we'll wait and see where it comes to that one. But I think he could be a brilliant addition to the whole universe if he gets the Snyder Cut and Zack Snyder back on side, because Dwayne Johnson's, even though his political opinions are all over the place at the moment, he's not a complete moron when it comes to money and numbers, and the Snyder Cut is something that is very popular. Less credible regarding Ezra's future. If a Flash recast were to happen, Sam Claflin is someone you can expect to be the new Barry Allen. Again, why? Why not just bring Ryan Gosling in? He's going to get bums in seats. Women are going to be interested in that. Get him to do a movie or two maybe, and bring in Cameron Monaghan as Wally West. This is the problem with this universe though, and with this DCEU as such. What they should have done is what they are currently doing, as it seems, with Matt Reeves and even the Joker movie, where they're off in their own worlds and they're just set over there, and that is fantastic. Whereas they should have just left Snyder related content, Snyder related characters alone. Doing Wonder Woman 2 was a bad idea. Doing the Aquaman movie was probably a bad idea. Certainly Aquaman 2 is going to be a bad idea, because the further they stray from the Zack Snyder movies, then the more disjointed everything becomes. I would have actually rather them just leave the whole universe alone and had it starting from scratch from the likes of Aquaman, The Flash, Wonder Woman, the whole lot of them. because what they're currently doing now is they're messing things up, and it's going to be incredibly difficult for Zach even to revisit that work and say, okay, this is where we're going to go from here with all of these different things that are going on. So anyway, this movie sounds like a complete and utter disaster. And then you just got to look at the woman who was involved in it. And here she is here, Christina Hodson. Now, Christina Hodson is on records talking about how she wanted to insert feminism into these movies, how the character within Bumblebee, the female character Charlie, was basically herself in the movie. That movie was junk also. I know it caught a lot of people with the G1 scenes, and that's fine, but you have to look deeper into the movie. The way Charlie was definitely ruling the relationship between her and the guy. The guy was a little cook. Then you look at then the Decepticons that were on Earth. It was led by a female Decepticon. She was really intelligent, played by Angela Bassett. And then her little minion there, the other Decepticon, Justin Theroux, I think it was, he was a complete and utter moron. So you see things like that going on in movies like that, and it's very easy to see. And then that movie wasn't successful, but yet she failed forward into Birds of Prey. That bombed. That didn't do well at all. And all of the feminism nonsense that she had in that movie definitely went against it. And all of the comments from the likes of the actresses that were in the movie and indeed the director helped solidify what a bomb that was. She's now gotten an attempt at writing The Flash, which baffles me. She's also gotten Batgirl 2, which again baffles me. And she's been given Pirates of the Caribbean after Johnny Depp was kicked to the curb for accusations, and that's a movie that's supposed to star, guess who? Margot Robbie. So this is going to be weirdo feminism that's going to be injected into The Flash, Batgirl, Pirates of the Caribbean, no doubt in my mind. And this woman keeps getting by, and nobody seems to be pointing people like this woman out and saying, that's the writer that keeps going from that movie to that movie. They are terrible writers. These movies underperform. They're not fan pleasers. The fans don't like these movies. Save Bumblebee because a lot of people got the dangly keys of G1 shining in front of them and they thought, oh, this is a great movie. Put that movie against any of the other Bay movies. That Bumblebee movie is terrible in comparison to any of the other ones, and I'm talking even the worst Michael Bay movie. So this is what's happening with the DCEU now, and this is a person that is linked to the likes of Michael Bay, who was also linked to the likes of Steven Spielberg, who was linked to, guess who? J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves. So it's very easy to see how these people are linked and intertwined, and how these people keep getting work even though they're destroying franchises. Look at J.J. Abrams, Star Wars, Star Trek, and now it's going to be DC. The fans have to speak, and they have to openly say, we're not going to see this, we're not interested in it, and then let it be a dud when it comes out then, because these people at some point in time are going to realise, particularly the shareholders and the money men that are up there, that this stuff doesn't sell. They're still sitting on Star Wars product now. They're still sitting on Star Trek product now. They'll be sitting on DC product for a long time if that's the way they want to go about it. It's a bad idea. Anyway, I'm going to leave the video there. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell up above for future uploads, and check out the links in the description down below to support the channel. And remember, this stuff at the moment is a grain of salt. You've got to take it with. So it's just rumour. But if the Cavill Superman baby thing is true, that's it. A lot of people are going to step off and step away from this 100%. And that's even before the movie comes out. Good luck. Make sure you're following me over here on Gab at ninja_night. And over here on Gettr at the_ninja night. Thank you. Due to the limiting of the truth on this platform, make sure you're following me over here on Odysee and on Rumble. Thank you.